you love seeing that, and that's always a great sign. You're not, you're not necessarily depending on one aspect of your team, and only certain individual players. So I think this team is well balanced. Obviously, they have to be feeling good about the way they finished last season. Although you're only going to get so much push from what you did last year. But if you're building on that, you've been working in the offseason. I feel like things are certainly set up for them in the division. And yes, me along with so many other Lions fans, we are excited about this season. We know that really the sky is the limit.
Last time we won a playoff game, you were on the field. It was '91. Last time they were in the playoffs.
That was the last time?
Oh, last time. I'm sure you've never heard that before. Just telling everyone else.
Just a reminder.
And the last time, obviously, in the playoffs was in '16, the loss in the wild card round in Seattle. What would it mean, Barry, to not have to keep hearing that? What would it mean for this team to get in and actually do something?
Oh, it would mean so much. I mean, I think, that has to be in the back of this team's mind, changing that narrative. We've all heard it. We've all had to live with it.
You're sick.
Well, it's there, man. That's how it is. That remains the reality at this point. But I know that if there's any team that could change that, then it's this group and Coach Campbell. And just sort of how he's built the last few years and the product they put on the field. So, yeah, I think if there's any team that's going to do it, I mean, this is the right time to do it right now.
I think that this is a team that is built around the run game, and they've got a brand-new running back room led by David Montgomery coming from Chicago, real good contact runner, Barry. And this young rookie, Jahmyr Gibbs, that they saw, this is what they want. Have you seen much so far, or what kind of anticipation do you have for this group?
Oh, yeah, I think, just like I mentioned with the complementary football, I mean, they want to be balanced. And the guys they have in the room, that's what they're there for. They're there to make plays. They're there to make plays in the passing game and in the running game. Being in this division, we've seen what David Montgomery could do game in and game out. He's a 1,000-yard rusher every year, pretty much. And so we're looking, hopefully, for the same production, so yes, I believe, and they couldn't be more geeked about Jahmyr Gibbs and being able to get him early in the first round and what they've seen so far, and his attitude and his approach to practice. And just, when you get a young running back, in camp and you see him, in real live action with other players, to see whether that speed transfers, whether he still has that speed, whether he still has that zip that he had in college. And so I think so far we see that he's going to be a guy that can make plays.
Before we get to your big honor coming up here, this actually goes perfectly into the thing I think Baldy and I both wanted to ask you about. The Lions redid their running back room, and Jamal Williams led the league in touchdowns. He couldn't get the contract he necessarily wanted. It is tough out there for a running back these days. Barry, I mean, part of me thinks that like a 28-year-old Barry Sanders might have been a cap casualty after a 2,000-yard season. You know what I'm saying? Do you get it?
Know.
Do you get what's going on?
Not completely. It is interesting to watch. I think, because I'm still seeing some guys being very productive at running back. It also will be interesting to see, what those teams, what kind of seasons some of those teams have that don't have those backs. The first thing that comes to mind obviously is Dalvin Cook. I mean, we're assuming that they're going to be a better team without him. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Right.
We'll see what. Yeah, exactly. We'll see what side of the casualty. Is it a casualty for the team or a casualty for the player?
Right.
Or both. But and obviously, with Saquon, obviously that was very interesting just to see how that deal worked out. But yes, for a running back. Would I be a cap casualty? I don't know. I mean, I like my chances behind this Lions offensive line. I like my chances.
I think that you actually would disappear behind Penei Sewell for just a brief second.
I would love to. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to run behind him.
You would hold in for a new contract hiding behind Penei Sewell. What's coming up week 2 is so cool outside Ford Field. You're the first Lion to get a statue. No one could ever catch you when you were playing. They finally caught you to sculpt you. Have you seen it yet?
I've seen some early versions of it, and I've met the artist, and you know, so, but yeah, I mean, it's a big weekend for me and my family, for Lions fans. I'm looking forward to it. There's a lot that's gone into it. You know, yeah, so it's just amazing what's happened over the last, you know, I don't know, 20-some years since I've been retired. And this is almost like, I feel like almost like going into the Hall of Fame, having something like this, you know, this kind of a celebration. So yeah, it's a really, really big deal. And I'm excited about it.
That's amazing. Congratulations on that. And again, it is week 2 before the Lions home opener. The Lions open the season, as we all know, on the 7th in Kansas City in primetime on the very big stage. A stage this guy dominated when he was on it. Barry Sanders, it is always great to have you here.